Hey, what's going on everyone? Thanks for joining me here on Exploit Security. I'm your host CyberMunky, and this channel is all about documenting my journey to earning the OSCP. So I am a security analyst, 9 to 5 job. I do work as a security analyst, but the interesting thing that I found is pen testing is almost a completely different animal of its own. There's a different way to apply the knowledge, and there's a different methodology for solving some of the problems within your field of expertise. So it's been an interesting run, taking a lot of what I learned in school and through my experiences through working and learning to apply it in a different way to exploit a system, a machine, or an account. So it's certainly been interesting. Which brings us to our next point. Today we're going to be going over HacktheBox. They offer a machine that is called Mirai. As you can see, I've already owned it. I'm going to walk you through what I did to own the machine and how I went about solving it. This one took me about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. So hopefully if you're stuck, this can kind of help give you that little extra push that you need to get through. So as you can see, we are going to jump in. So I ran all my normal Nmap scans. And I came across a few things. I'm not going to run through the scans again, but I am going to show you them. So I start off by running just a default scan across the first 1,000 ports. This is what I was returned with. I followed up by running across all ports. This returned some more information for me. And then I started jumping into what I call the sniper scan. It's really just version detection, OS detection. I just call it sniper scan for short. You can see the various ports that I found. I pulled up, and those are the ones I ran just the detection on. And this is what I resulted in. And then just to kind of cover all my bases, I ran the first 1,000 of UDP as well. There's some stuff in here. I usually start digging through this if I can't figure out anything within the previous. And then of course you only see 4 scan types here. There's of course, you know, script scanning and everything else that I can do. But I haven't really come across a situation where I've had to do it as of yet. So when that time comes, I will certainly jump into running any script scanning that I have to. For the time being, I don't think it's really necessary, or it really hasn't been necessary. Moving on. So as you guys can see, there's a couple open ports. You can see Plex for HTTP and port 80 also for their service that they're running. So let's go on and open it up. So when you enter it in with the port 32400 for Plex, this is actually what gets shown. I also end up running a derb scan, which is a web scanner, and I came across this little juicy bit. There wasn't a lot as far as results go, but this is one that I felt was worth looking into. Of course, I looked into all of them, but I really didn't have to go much further than here. As you can see, if we just open that up, we get taken to this page, Pi-hole page. So if you do a little bit of digging, you'll come across some good tidbits, but one of them is I recommend searching with default credentials, anything like that that can return default information. In this case, it returned Pi as the username and Raspberry as the password. So of course, one of the first things I tried was logging in with the password. Of course, it told me that it was not correct. So the next thing I kind of followed up doing was trying to log in through SSH as Pi, and in hopes that they never changed the default password. So let's go on and do that. All right, so we are in. So first thing I'm gonna do is take a look around, just kind of see what my working directory is, run any other information I'm not gonna get too much into it, but kind of start doing a peek around. The other thing I tend to do just to make it easier and see if I can get an easy return is I look for, so we know that the user hashes are stored in user.txt, and then we know that root hashes are stored, or root flags are stored in root.txt. Knowing that bit of information, we can just run the find command and search using that as our name, so user.txt. And then we're just going to push that standard error over to null so we don't have to see. And then this is what we get returned with. So let's go on and copy that and take a look. All right, so we are golden. We now have the flag for user pi. So that's great. You definitely get points for that. But we are really, in order to completely own the machine, we have to get root. So the interesting thing is, how do we go about getting root? One of the first things that I always do when I first kind of jump in is I run the sudo L command, or excuse me, sudo L command, not sudo 0. And we can see that we can run the following commands: all, no password for all. So just to kind of see what happens, let's go on and run sudo list the user root and this is our return. So I lost my original root.txt. I think I may have a backup on my USB. So let's see what we can find out about right now. We're just looking for that USB. And it looks like we found it. So let's go on and copy that. So we have something in there called dammit.txt and then lost plus found. Let's go on and check out that dammit.txt. We know that this is stored on dev SDB. That's the file system, so we'll kind of keep that in mind moving forward. So let's check out that. And our response when we open up the file is, damn it, sorry man, I accidentally deleted your files off the USB stick. Do you know if there is any way to get them back, James? So this one was kind of a pain. I had never tried to recover lost files or deleted files before. So it was kind of a pain, I'm not gonna lie. I ended up finding it, probably not as nice as others could have found it. And what I did was I just ran sudo as root and then just went ahead and dove right into that file system SDB, and I get this whole just messy printout. Of course I know I can use grep and everything else to clean it up. I really didn't have to in this circumstance. I mean, you can kind of scroll through that and kind of read out. Had it been a lot more filled up, I probably would have started trying to figure out how I could clean up the output a little bit. But in this case, as soon as I ran that command, this is kind of what you see as soon as you run the command. And you can see here that there's something that pretty much is the flag. It is. I'm not going to say pretty much. It was the flag. It was the flag for root. And so I ended up testing it and everything worked out. So basically we were able to log in as pi, and from there just run a little bit of privilege escalation to get the flag for root just by running sudo as root itself. So pretty interesting. I end up having to look up how to recover deleted files, so that proved to be a bit challenging, and that was a new endeavor I started having to dive into. But I'm definitely happy with the results. Mirai, I would say, is more on the easy side, which is kind of what I'm working with now. So definitely check it out if you're new or learning. Definitely check out HTB's level Mirai for a machine. There's a couple other easy ones like Lame as well, and I'm going to be posting content for that. But for the time being, I think this is more than perfect. So in this video, I walked you through how to get the user flag and how to get the root flag by exploiting Pi. They just didn't change their default credentials. story of my life, that tends to be a pretty common issue across all enterprises and organizations. Default passwords or default config. So this definitely shows that something as simple as just not changing your configuration or default credentials can really screw you over. But other than that, that pretty much sums it all up. That is how we go about getting flags for both root and for Pi user. I hope everyone enjoyed the content. If you did, by all means, subscribe, like, share. We will be pushing out more and more content as things get rolling. If you guys have any recommendations, any questions, by all means, shoot them down at the comments below. You can find me on Discord or anywhere else. If you are unable to, just go ahead and ping me in the comments below and I will respond and let you know what my Discord tag is. If you guys have any questions, by all means, send them my way. I hope everyone enjoyed the content, and I will catch you next week for the next video. Thanks, everyone.